Hi guys, bringing you another video on a respirator today, and we're going to be having a look at another example of the British Army S6 respirator. This may look very much like a normal S6 at first glance, until perhaps I bring this example in next to it, and you can very easily see what makes this one different. It's a right-hand canister example. These are fairly uncommon to find, designed for left-handed shooters. We'll get a bit more into the details of this in just a minute. There's also a specialist haversack to look at, a special haversack designed to go with the respirator, the right-hand canister example, because the position of the canister determines how things are stowed in the haversack. But we'll have a look at the details of this now and a chat about obviously why it was introduced. So here we have the S6 right-hand canister design. Essentially, it's exactly the same as a regular S6, other than having the filter, the canister on the right-hand side of the facepiece as you wear it. As you can see here, it has all the normal features. Unfortunately, the elastic's not so good on the head harness there. We've got the light in here. It has all the normal features of an S6, the nasal cup there, the little holes in the top there for the optical inserts, and the respirator spectacles. Little valve here to help inflate this face seal around the edge, and the drain holes in the bottom. Something I will note is previous S6 videos, there's a little slit or holes in the bottom of the rubber here. I don't know if you'll be able to see. There we go. To allow moisture that catches in here in the chin cup to drain into the bottom of the facepiece, that is something I've previously thought was a tear in the rubber, and I've been corrected on that. So thank you for the commenters who corrected me on that, pointing out that little correction here. But otherwise, as I say, other than the placement of the canister, this is exactly the same as a regular S6. Obviously, this is to accommodate left-handed shooters. Now, prior to this, respirator designs, obviously the general service respirator with the hose connecting to the filter, you didn't really have this problem because the filter was worn on the chest. There was no encumbrance on the respirator to stop you shooting left or right. What the problem with left or right shooting there was, the short magazine, the Enfield, and later the number 4, of course the bolt doesn't really facilitate left-handed shooting. It's extremely awkward to operate, and the British Army made no accommodation for left-handed shooters at all. You were a right-handed shooter, you learned to shoot right-handed. With the introduction of the self-loading rifle, this changed. Of course, you could effectively fire the self-loading rifle, the SLR, from the left shoulder. The cocking handle doesn't move, it's on a slide, and even if it did, it's far enough forward to be relatively clear of the firer's face. So the SLR is very much, it's very possible to shoot the SLR comfortably and operate the weapon from the firing from the left shoulder. Particular example, unscrew the canister here and have a look, is made by Lenin and Birmingham, and it's dated 1984. And this was introduced to allow left-handed shooters to operate the SLR, which is obviously leads to superior marksmanship for those who are left-handed. It's a lot easier to learn the marksmanship principles and so on using the rifle from your preferred from the preferred side, using your left hand as you would normally use your right for those who are right-handed. So this made it a lot easier for people. Of course, one of the biggest problems of this is that once the SA-80 was introduced, this is no longer possible. Whereas it was possible with the SLR, the SA-80 does away with this because the moving parts would be in contact with the firer's cheek, the cocking handle, etc., if fired from the left shoulder. So the SA-80 again does away with the SA-80 series of weapons, does away with this ability that was introduced with the SLR. That said, the S10 is readily convertible from left to right-handed canister, and respirators developed from it, like the FM12, of course, have screw-in plugs that make it extremely easy to swap. We screw-in plug with a NATO thread, make it extremely easy to swap the filter from one side to the other, or indeed wear 2 filters. So it's something that progressed in this design, in British Army respirator design, the ability to set up the respirator for left-handed shooters. The problem, of course, something else that had to be introduced with the S6, that is a replacement haversack, because the right-hand canister, we'll just bring it in now, the right-hand canister respirator will not fit into the standard left-hand haversack left-hand canister haversack. That is because of, you can get the light in here, I'm not sure we'll be able to. Let's have a look here. It's a bit dull at the moment. But the spare canister storage, you can see the white foam insert there, is normally on the other side of the haversack. Now if you put the respirator goes in this, sorry, open up, goes in this configuration, so face piece towards the body. Obviously if you have the spare canister as it normally is on this side, with the canister on the face piece sitting here, it wouldn't fit, so the haversack has to be reversed as well, with the storage for the spare canister on this side here, in the little pouch there. Otherwise it is the same design, it has all the same stowage and everything. But it's also interesting on the back, just so there's no confusion, for right-hand canisters. So, as I say, quite an interesting little setup. The haversack itself is quite nicely stamped and dated. Get it the right way up here. You can see there, 1975. NATO stock number. And the contract number as well. We can get that all nice so you can see it there. So quite an interesting little development. And these are quite unusual to find. I was very pleased. A friend of mine, Alan, who crops up in the videos, I mention him quite a lot, found the haversack a little while ago. So I've had this haversack for a while, and recently, last year, picked up the right-hand canister S6 to complete the set. I will probably put contents together for this eventually, like I have done with the other respirator haversacks. I haven't done so yet. Spare filter and so forth. I think I have a spare S6 canister knocking around somewhere that I can put in and get the haversack contents together. So there we have it, the right-hand canister S6 respirator, example of the British Army allowing accommodating left-handed shooters, something which obviously went out of the window with the SA-80, the introduction of the SA-80. But I hope you found that interesting. If you'd like to see more sort of sneak peeks of upcoming videos and things, make sure to check out the Facebook page, put a link in the description. And until next time, bye for now.